Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I'm a professional crypto trader. I really like getting feedback from you guys about the market, what you're trading, successes, failures. So I'm going to go ahead and start giving out a t-shirt every week now. What I'll do is I'll look at all comments from Thursday to Thursday, and then Friday select a random winner. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Looks like Bitcoin had a little bit of a rest over the weekend, and now this morning the bulls are back at it again. We got pretty close to this support line here, very close. So it looks like we are still staying above this trend, and off we go. Here we are in the green zone, and we've been in our green zone now. We dipped below the 100. When the 50 switched places with the 100, this gave us a white zone. But for our purposes, I'm just going to count how far we've been. Today is our 33rd day in essentially our green zone. So it'll be interesting to see how long we last. Our most recent green zone lasted 42 days. So you never know. We'll see if we what we have left in the tank as we continue moving forward. 20 is our big number. We will, if we don't have any resistance or any pullback before then, we will most likely, very, very, very likely, pull back at 20. So keep your eyes on that. But wow, look at this. Everything's looking pretty strong. A new all-time high, a 2-year high on our most recent bar. So we're heading up. So today our altcoin market cap is worth about 9.6 million Bitcoin. So we're seeing a little bit more of a drop. We're not down to our most recent low. So altcoins are still selling off a bit. Because of these couple of days where we had a real strong altcoin market, some coins have changed their chart formation and have started looking a little bit stronger, and that is reflected in a couple of coins doing really well. The rest are still stuck on their downward trend. Bitcoin dominance looks just like the other. We've kind of had this consolidation period and we're kind of moving up. We'll see what kind of resistance we see in this area, but with Bitcoin finding new 2-year highs, the alt markets are definitely taking a rest today. No impulse buying, only measured, calculated trades. So even though the chart of the day is going to be on Litecoin, I did want to address a couple of questions that I've had recently on some of the DeFi coins. So DeFi is finally getting old enough that we're starting to see the 50-day moving average show up on some of these. And I wanted to point out here on Sushi, we finally got above our 50-day moving average. I would not buy this until we pull back. We want to pull back and hopefully find support on the 50 before you would want to enter something like this. But Sushi looks actually pretty decent. YFI, on the other hand, is looking like we might be rejected on the 50. So I would probably stay away from this one until we have a little bit more information. CRV is one that we've talked about in the past, and we look like we have broken through the 50 and found support here. We've also found a higher high than this, and with our near double bottom down here, this is actually looking pretty good. It's hard to say whether our next correction will bring us back to like 378 or something, but as the 50-day moving average comes down, if we can bounce off of that once to establish it as support, this might be a pretty decent investment. Uni, we are definitely rejecting off the 50, so watch that really closely. I know there have been some excitement in here, and these moves have been gigantic, you know, from the tip of the bottom at 11, and we've essentially seen 100% gain from the bottom on a lot of these, but that doesn't mean that it's all green lights ahead. Another one was RSR. This one probably looks the strongest of all of them because we've had enough time to really establish a solid bottom. So we have a double bottom here. We do have a lower high than this, but the difference between this point and this point is, again, this 50, where we finally got above the 50 and then we immediately dropped below. We are obviously showing support on the 50. When this starts curving upward, there's going to be some good support here, and if we retouch the 50 once or twice again, we could be up in higher ranges. The percent gain on the table isn't super great because moving here is our 100%, so we're almost near our all-time highs just to get to 100%, but there still could be a really good trade on the table. All right, so just wanted to point that out, but by far the best looking coin on the day is Litecoin. Many of the other coins have sort of sold off a bit with Bitcoin on a tear today, but look how we are making a second attempt on Litecoin to exit the red zone. We exited a while ago and I pointed that out in a video, but then we almost immediately dropped back in. So this 50 was a false, breaking above the 50 was a false alarm. We didn't end up benefiting from this. When we exited the red zone here, we had support twice, but we failed to maintain it, and we never made it to a green zone. So we're still waiting for a future green zone on Litecoin. So if you had invested around the 0.0047 level, you had a couple opportunities there. Even when we exited here, 0.0045. So it depends. Where will this close? If we close above the 50, we might have another shot at switching this 50 over to support. When that happens, there could be some pretty sweet gains on the table, because when we ever do get above the 50, it usually takes us on a pretty nice ride. So they're being as low as we are, any movement up will be a pretty decent percent gain. So I wanted to also point out that you can see sort of a inverted head and shoulders pattern on the on Litecoin. You can tell also that there's a whale that's influencing the price here, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Whales like to form bottoms, and so if you can keep your eyes out for whale activity on the bottom, that can tell you that there may be some extra support in the price. But see how we went down slowly and then we had a giant green bar? This is a whale making trying to form a market bottom. After 6 days of being unsuccessful, there was another attempt, because there's very little warning here that this candle is going to be as strong as it is, and pushing us back up to that same level. And then now today could be a little bit more retail, but we have some strong hands and some deep pockets moving the price of Litecoin, and this might be the move that we've been waiting for. I've been certainly anticipating a pretty good move in Litecoin, so hopefully this is in. Okay, it is time to separate the CoinBook trolls from the CoinBook fans. So these are the magnificent t-shirts that we are giving away every Friday. These are individually packaged with love from your best friends, China. There's also this incredible option designed by yours truly, and we'll be giving away probably one or two of these every Friday to just a random comment on any of the videos over the past week. But, and I don't blame you, if you absolutely cannot live without one of these shirts, I am willing to part with them for $15 worth of your favorite crypto, just reach out to me on social media and we'll get you guys hooked up.